If this is happening to you, you're not losing your mind, you're waking up. The things that once mattered now feel hollow. Conversations that used to excite you now exhaust you. Drama, external validation, the need to be seen or understood. They've lost their grip. This isn't depression. It's not numbness. It's something far deeper. You're shifting from the main character of your story to the quiet witness behind it all. And while that distance may feel unsettling, even isolating, it's the first real signal that your quantum consciousness is stirring. It begins subtly. You move through your day and suddenly feel like you're watching yourself from outside, as if in a dream. Thoughts arise, but they no longer feel like truth, just inherited scripts. Emotions come and go, but you no longer drown in them. You let them drift like passing clouds. You start to see your name, your past, your roles not as your core, but as costumes you've worn for so long, you forgot you could take them off. And now you're ready to. This isn't avoidance, it's evolution, a quiet frequency shift, unfolding within you as your awareness outgrows the limits of old conditioning. Your true self, consciousness itself, begins to detach from form. And in that space, something ancient awakens. You're not the same person because you're not meant to be. Mystics have called this awakening. Quantum physicist Amit Goswami describes it as the moment you realize consciousness isn't in the body is in consciousness. That single insight bends reality. You start questioning everything you once accepted without thought. Were your choices ever truly yours? You feel like you're living between two worlds. The material one you were taught is real, and a subtler one you're now sensing, one built not from matter but from mind. Synchronicities spike. Thoughts seem to manifest faster. Time feels fluid. These aren't coincidences. They're signs your field is tuning in. Yet outwardly, nothing changes. Same job, same people, same routines. But inside, everything's different. And because the external world still echoes your old frequency, doubt creeps in. This is the threshold, the sacred in-between. Your old identity is dissolving, but your new self hasn't fully landed. It's tempting to retreat, to pretend you didn't see behind the curtain. But you can't. Once you wake up, you can't unsee. The veil doesn't close again. This liminal space where nothing makes logical sense, but everything feels aligned, is where your quantum consciousness truly emerges, not from books or gurus, but through raw, direct experience, through shedding who you thought you were, through the courage to not know what's next. And in that surrender, you realize your mind isn't here to survive reality, it's here to shape it. What if everything you've been taught is backward? You were told the physical world creates your experience, that consciousness is just brain noise. But quantum physics tells a different story. At the subatomic level, reality exists only as potential until observed. Particles don't solidify until a conscious mind collapses the wave. That's not philosophy, it's science, and it flips materialism on its head. Thinkers like Amit Goswami go further. Consciousness isn't secondary, it's primary. The universe doesn't produce awareness. Awareness produces the universe. Your body isn't housing your mind. Your mind holds your body. Your timeline, your entire reality. You're not a person in a world. You're the field in which the world appears. The dreamer and the dream, the canvas and the brushstroke. When this clicks, causality softens, time bends. Life stops happening to you and starts flowing through you. Decisions shift from logic to resonance. You don't just think, you feel into possibilities. And in doing so, you don't react to reality, you co-create it. You become the conscious observer who chooses, and that choice reshapes the field. But here's the paradox. The more awake you get, the less your mind can explain it. Quantum consciousness isn't grasped by thought, it's lived. It's not a concept. It's a return to your original state, not behind your eyes, but behind existence itself. That's the awakening. And that's why the world may look unchanged, but feels utterly new. You see others repeating old patterns, but you're no longer in the script. You hear fear-driven conversations, but your nervous system stays calm. You're not rebelling, you're remembering. Remembering you're not a product of creation. Your creation becoming aware of itself. And that awareness? It's not special. It's yours by birth. But in a world built on distraction, choosing to live from it is revolutionary. Because once you do, you stop seeking and start being. You were never broken, only disconnected from the truth of your boundless role in creation's quantum rhythm. At some point in every awakening, the identity you built to survive begins to crumble. Not because you failed, but because that version of you has served its purpose. The collapse feels disorienting, even agonizing, as your name, roles, and beliefs reveal themselves as borrowed costumes, never your essence. This isn't destruction, it's sacred unraveling. You can't awaken quantum consciousness while clinging to a mechanical self. One vibrates in rigidity and survival. The other flows in presence and infinite potential. To step into the latter, the former must dissolve. The ego resists. It panics. It whispers, "You're losing yourself. Something's wrong." But nothing's wrong. Your true awareness is simply stepping out from behind the mask, and the mask knows its time is up. The ego isn't evil. It's obsolete. It stitched together an identity from parents, culture, trauma, and dogma to help you navigate a world that demanded conformity. But as your consciousness expands, that map no longer fits the territory. You see through manipulation, question inherited beliefs, and even doubt the thinker behind your thoughts. This is the death of the programmed self, and it's holy. You start noticing mental loops that no longer resonate, reactions that feel foreign, beliefs you never chose. It's like realizing the house you've lived in isn't yours. The furniture, the walls, even the reflections in the mirror belong to someone else. That's why awakening feels like grief. Not because you're dying, but because the illusion is. The persona you thought was you fades, making space, vast, silent space where something deeper rises. You become the witness of your body. Emotions pass through you. They don't define you. Thoughts arise, but you no longer obey them. You stop identifying with the inner voice and start observing it like a character in a film. And in that distance, clarity dawns. I am not this voice. I am the awareness hearing it. This is the timeless insight of mystics. And now, quantum pioneers like Amit Goswami, you're not a cluster of neurons and memories. Your consciousness localized through a body, but never confined by it. The more you rest in this knowing, the weaker the old self becomes, not from battle, but from neglect. You simply stop believing its stories. The shift isn't always grand. Often it's quiet. You wake up and realize arguing feels pointless. Approval holds no weight. Control is a myth, and peace matters more than being right. In that stillness, your quantum self emerges, the one untouched by past, unshaken by future, needing no narrative, fearing no unknown. It just is. Pure presence, pure perception, pure creative power. As this becomes your default, reality bends. Not because you force it, but because the field responds not to the ego's noise, but to the coherence of your true self, the one choosing from alignment, not anxiety. So if you feel lost, if your sense of self is dissolving, you're not falling apart. You're waking up. The program is clearing. The illusion is thinning. And what remains is who you've always been, the conscious creator remembering itself. There comes a pivotal moment when you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What am I creating now?" Until now, you may have seen life as something to endure or observe. Mindfulness was the refuge, the pause between reaction and response. But awakening doesn't stop at observation. It culminates in creation, not through willpower, but through coherent presence. In the quantum field, observation collapses possibility into form, and how you observe shapes what manifests. Fear summons more fear. Clarity stabilizes peace. Every emotion, choice, and belief sends a signal. The field doesn't listen to your words. It mirrors your state. You stop reacting and start generating, not perfectly, but consistently. You realize your frequency isn't a byproduct, it's your offering. You're no longer just reading reality, you're writing it. Synchronicities aren't random, they're rhythmic. The right call at the right moment, ideas arriving like whispers, time stretching or compressing. Life moves with you because you've stopped resisting it. You're not trying to force reality into your desires. You've aligned with the version that already reflects your true self. Here's the key. The outer world doesn't chase your wishes. It mirrors your identity. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're coherent with. So who are you being right now? Not who you were or who you'll be after healing. Now, are you vibrating as your past or as your future? You can't collapse a new timeline from an old frequency. Abundance can't bloom from lack. Love can't rise from fear. The field responds not to effort, but to alignment. The moment you embody your desired reality without proof, without permission, that's when the shift ignites. And you realize the observer was always the creator. You begin to notice your reactions slowing, not from forced calm, but because triggers no longer land. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you breathe. An old wound surfaces and you observe it without collapsing. You don't suppress emotion. You simply stop being ruled by it. Why? Because you're no longer responding from the survival-driven self. You're answering from the one who remembers, I am not the moment, I am the field witnessing it. This shift changes everything. Conversations deepen. You speak not to defend or impress, but from presence. Relationships transform. You no longer look to others to fill a void you've already met within. Even your work flows differently. Tasks that once felt heavy now move with ease. Not because circumstances changed, but because you're guided by alignment, not obligation. You stop pushing. You start allowing. You stop proving. You start radiating. Outwardly, life may look the same. But inwardly, everything's different because your reference point is no longer external. It's vibrational. It's internal. It's the self rooted in awareness. From this stability, your choices refine. You stop asking, is this the right decision? And start asking, is this the right frequency? You feel into timelines, not just outcomes. You trust intuition over fear's logic. And in that trust, you collapse new realities, not by striving, but by coherence. This is what it means to live as your quantum self, not floating above life, but moving through it with grounded sovereignty, not avoiding pain, but witnessing it from a deeper center, not craving control, but trusting your inner calibration. Challenges will still come, resistance will still appear, but your relationship to them shifts. You recognize this too is part of the field, and in that recognition, you reclaim your power. Because nothing in your experience is random. It's all feedback, a mirror of your signal. If the reflection feels off, you don't fight the mirror. You recalibrate the source. This is the radical responsibility of quantum living, knowing you can't control every event, but you are the origin of your frequency within it. And that frequency, steady, clear, aligned, becomes your portal. As Amit Goswami reminds us, you choose your reality through how you collapse possibilities. Every moment offers a new choice, a new observation, a new vibration. The question is no longer, will life align with me? But will I align with what I already know I am? Because quantum consciousness isn't a destination you visit. It's a state you stabilize. By now you likely feel it, not just in your mind, but in your bones. That quiet sense of return. Not to a past identity, but to something original, timeless. Awakening isn't becoming new, it's uncovering what was always there. But here's what few admit. Awakening is only the beginning. The real work is embodiment. And that's where many drift, not from weakness, but because the outer world hasn't shifted yet. You step back into old environments, routines, and patterns. Without deep anchoring, the old frequency quietly reels you in. That's why the space between awakening and full embodiment is both fragile and sacred. This is where quantum consciousness must become your operating system. Not just a moment of insight, but your default mode, where presence isn't reserved for silence, but lived through chaos. Where your nervous system no longer waits for external safety, because you are the safety, the signal, the new center of gravity. And embodiment isn't about perfection. It's about return, again and again. Realigning not from shame or urgency, but from love, from knowing, from the part of you that no longer seeks to escape life, but to live it fully from the highest frequency you can hold. You didn't come here to wake up for a moment. You came to become the signal, to live from the field, to remember and then embody without compromise. So if this has resonated with you, don't let it fade. Anchor it, live it. The field isn't waiting for you to be flawless. It's waiting for you to be present, fully, unapologetically, consciously. Your quantum consciousness isn't a theory. It's your next reality. And now, it's time to live from it.